So, my dear postgraduate students, whether you are a newcomer, a final year, or in the second year, you belong to the basic sciences, the clinical, or even a super specialty. I hope that this series will befit all of us, including me. And you can consider me as a senior student rather than a teacher. You can throw any question at me and be assured that I will not be able to answer them. So, what we are facing now is a lack of awareness about the curriculum, the clinical feasibility of it, and what can be the progress of our course, and how easy or difficult it is for me to navigate through it. And how am I going to complete all of these? What is essential, what is not essential? This can be a confusion in the minds of all of us. My idea would be to help you people traverse this. And in the first class, I would just throw open the problems that are facing all of us and a state of confusion that we are in. Let us hope we shall solve these problems one by one. So, my dear postgraduate students, in fact, you can consider me a colleague of yours rather than a teacher. My business is to answer the question that is staring at the postgraduate students. This is the story of a Chinese boy who is between two parents who are on the verge of a divorce. He runs from one home to another and the doors are closed against him. Finally, he finds a friend in a goose and both of them wander together. In the end, there is a tragic end of the boy and the goose keeps walking alone. So that is the story of why was I born. Perhaps this kind of a psychology has been running in our minds at the time of joining, at the time of going through, even after the finishing of the course. So I thought it was apt for me to narrate this. There is a routine massacre that we are all facing. Though it is a very strong word, but let me see what it is. At my work, there are all these things, the routine postings, ancillary, special skills, the night duty, the theater, and there is also the various forms of conferences, the publications, the thesis, etc. You people are more aware of it since you are experiencing the pain of it. There is one thing called the DRP for which I am preparing the class. Subsequently, it will be done. There is also the PG program that is there. It can be seminars or a case presentation or an interdepartmental meeting and so on. Tests and exams. And this UG teaching, of course, you must be wondering whether it is required or not. Let us see what it is. In fact, all of these can be put as a blessing in disguise and not otherwise. Direction is so much more important than speed. Look at the snail, it is moving slowly, but probably in the correct direction. Whereas most of us, we lose time by moving helter-skelter without a sense of direction. And all my classes are aimed only at the exam, which again is composed of, for the postgraduates, the theory exam is basic sciences, general, systemic, and the recent advances, or simply called as papers 1, 2, 3, 4. And there can be additional subjects. For example, you got questions on anesthesia in surgery or orthopedics in surgery. Again, it can be pediatrics in medicine, dermatology in medicine. The clinical skills, the biopsy interpretation, various forms of diagnosis, radiology, etc. And the other major branches you people should be very much aware of. In fact, a good student should be fluent with his questions, not the answers. I'm not bothered about the answers. For example, this is a subject of orthopedics in which there is a basic sciences, traumatology, again, the diseases of bone and joints, and the recent advances. So, for all of us, whether the undergraduate teaching is important, learning is important, you must. Definitely, whatever subject you are in, a student cannot pass if he is not going to answer diabetes or tuberculosis. And you people can kindly guess the subject. Of course, anesthesia is there, and these are again the divisions of the papers. I should be extremely fluent and structurally versatile in all of these. I need not know the contents, but I should know the questions. These are the speed breakers that are staring at me. It can be illness, marriage, delivery, something that can be avoided, something cannot be avoided. I should be having it in mind. There can be again unforeseen problems, which I should be able to navigate deftly. Functions and travels, do avoid. So also a clinical practice and a side business. These are all things which we should be definitely avoiding. So also do not get into this get together a financial problem, because we are already under a peer pressure and create a departmental pressure. Probably it is our sense of adaptation that is a problem. And we should know how to navigate through this so-called double door risk. So the clinical or the practical, whatever be it, you find there can be a long case or a short case, an OSCE or an OSPE. You cannot by heart and pass the exam as such. There is something here, what is called as a psychomotor skill. What I see, I should be able to apply, practice, and my mind should give the command for me to carry out the exercise. That is exactly what is being studied in the exams. Your day-to-day activity will definitely see you through. And thesis is something that is again part of the Viva OC also. So a lot of these questions are the pedagogy, it carries about 1/4 of your marks. So this again, I will be seeing through. You people should be able to practice it day in and day out and not by heart a few days before the exam. You should ride the horse in the direction that it is going. So do not try to change. Of course, there are some stumbling blocks for us or an impasse that is there within us. It can be a procrastination, it can be fear, it can be a tendency for postponement. All of this again are all somewhat limited to failure. And we can be prejudiced with certain things, prefixed ideas can be there, we can be disconnected with the routine happenings. But all these, how you convert a stumbling block to a stepping stone depends on you. And these are the questions that I usually avoid as a student. So, can you start late and complete? Definitely not. We'll be changing timetables. Are you versatile in all the fields in your subject? Nobody is, even the author of your referred text. And should the undergraduate questions be omitted, you will never be able to clear your post-graduation. And how useful are the PG programs depends on the way that I use it. Whether I learn or not, I should be able to compile everything. And so also, finally, your motivation, there has to be an inner as well as an external motivation, depends on where you take it from. It can be your own department or even another department. And a last word of warning, do you calculate money always? My professor of medicine used to say, money is a good servant but a bad master. If you follow it, it ignores you. If you elude it, it follows you. And we shall see the rest in the next class. Thank you.